Boss man, how you doing?
I'm good, boss. How you doing?
I can't complain. Is the volume good?
Volume's good. Volume's good.
Okay.
Volume's good.
Yeah.
Hey, Trey Webb, if you listen, see if you can record the sound for me. Just give me a thumbs up. Let me see here. Let me. It's cool. I get it. I get it regardless. But yeah, so Scott, so what's good, man? I know, like, trying to navigate through these times of this whole coronavirus. I wanted to just go live and, just talk about the market a little bit. So those who are watching, because I know we have some people who are hesitant about the market, but then again, we have a host of people who are still as ambitious about the market as it was, as if it's nothing going on right now. So what's been your experience and what you're experiencing in the market right now?
Man, so first and foremost, out of Lakeland, Florida, Polk County, I want to tell each and every healthcare worker, Emmett, like I know, anybody that's on the front line right now, I want to say thank you because they're putting themselves in the front line. Also to the people the men and women that's serving the country, that's out there, definitely coming out, trying to keep everything quarantined, trying to help reduce the spread of this. It's tough. So right now I can tell you, people are still buying and people are still selling, number one. But what I would say, as I talked to you maybe earlier in the week, I said I think it's morally the noise that you're getting from all the negativity. I mean, I can't open my email and tell you if I don't see COVID-19 on one of my emails from the National Association for Realtors, from a credit card statement, from a mortgager, it's everywhere. So it's definitely real. But at the end of the day, the home buying process is definitely more real to a lot of people here. So Polk County, if you guys don't know, that's between the Lakeland and Orlando corridor. So I think Polk County is one of the biggest counties in the state of Florida. We had a few cases here recently. We were hearing things that were going on, and we were hoping it didn't come, but it came. And I'm telling you right now.
So being that it's there in Polk County, everybody's experiencing it. What are you doing personally, to protect your sellers and buyers during this time? Because, people still have goals to become a homeowner or either to sell their home.
Oh, man, we've been busy. We've been more busy than ever before. Of course, anyone's watching, of course, they've heard about what the Federal Reserve has done to drop the interest rates. And, of course, that opened up a lot of opportunities for a lot of my buyers, who are on the fence. So they really got in gear. We got some pre-approvals. But on the seller side, let's talk about that for a second. I have a lot of big listings, and, people should be worried about, bringing people in and out of their house. So, we've also been, pretty much advised to, if you're showing a house, be respectful. Have those people either take off their shoes, cover their feet with the footies, the booties. So we have those available. We do not count it robbery to tell people to put on gloves. You got football gloves, if you have hospital gloves, whatever. Wrap your hands up. We Lysol. We have a bunch of Clorox. I come in my house back and forth 3-4 times out of the day. I'm washing my hands. I'm taking maybe 2 or 3 showers. It's real. So you want to make sure. Absolutely. I have 2 daughters. I have a wife. I have a mom that's over 60. I have brothers, nieces, and nephews that always see me. So I want to make sure that not only that, I'm protecting my sellers and their best interest. I'm protecting myself and my family.
See, and this times right now, I think it's very important for sellers to understand how dangerous it is right now to, for one, have the proper safety procedures in place. So I've been seeing a lot of, and these are the things that I'm going back and changing on the listings that we have as well. But they're requesting that all buyers put on the mask, put on gloves, and put on the footies that's provided by the listing agents at the doors. And those are the things that we're doing on all our listings as well, to protect the sellers and protect the buyers. And also coming back and just doing it, sanitizing the door, so therefore when the sellers come back home, they have a safe and secure home as it was when they left. But the most important thing for the sellers for sale by owners, is to be able to have a system in place that therefore you can weave through the buyers. Buyers can be able to see the property, and therefore you cut down the traffic, and also you screen buyers, because at this point in time right now, what we have going on in the market, you don't want like unapproved buyers that are not already pre-approved walking through your house with unnecessary traffic, because now is the time you really want to limit the amount of people coming to your home. And you know, especially if they're going to be coming to your home, knocking on your door, whatever it may be, you want them to be pre-approved. You want them to, you know, to have everything in place to be able to buy this home. And at the same time, you want them to be able to be then seeing that home, whether it be a virtual walkthrough or something professional, for them to be able to, for the buyers to be able to go navigate through the home before actually viewing it personally, but just having a virtual tour in place for buyers to be able to search through them, and then, you know, they can get down to the favorite 2 or 3 to actually go and view, because I know that's some of the things that we're doing right now. And so I know that as of recently, I know we've had some pushback on the market from some of the buyers, but then you have people who are just totally 100% push forward, trying to be in the home by, you know, as soon as possible. So based on everything that we've had in the safety procedures, do you see anything for as it turned into a buyer's market in the near future?
Oh, of course, it's going to be an overflow. You want to make sure, you know, if you are a buyer, if you're in the house, this is what I tell all my buyers right now. I have a list of you know, people that are 50% there, 75% there, just getting started. You know, if you are on the market right now, or if you're at the house, you're quarantined, and you have a little bit more time on your hands, I advise you guys to be focusing on what's going to get you closer to the doors than to find any reason not to get there. So if it's a credit issue, you need to be calling your realtor, you need to call, you know, your credit specialist to actually get those things aligned. Right now, I also tell a lot of my people right now, communication is very key when it's time, when you're dealing with your creditors. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you're taking 3 steps back. All right. So once we get maybe, you know, past this, you know, we don't know a time, but maybe 3-6 months down the line, let's say it's cleared up, you know, it's starting to look better for us, you know, towards the end of the year, maybe a little halfway past the year, you want to be ready. You don't want to put yourself in a position where, oh, I was late on my credit card payments and I knocked myself down maybe 10-20 points. So, you know, and then that's what I would tell, because in my community, you know, our community, credit is important. And right now it's the time where people are on Facebook and they're saying, oh man, it's the time to, you know, the FEMA's going to go back and they're going to just forgive all of this, and your credit card, people are going to forget. Man, you better talk and call those people. Stop playing. Don't play with those people.
You have to stay up to date. Let me see where Tramayne that I want to touch base with Tramayne. Tramayne, if you watch and send a request for me, so I want to bring you in. Trayway. Yeah, somebody with the Florida insurance say people need a place to live, whether they renting, buying, selling, the urgency, everyone just to take the proper
and talk about how rents are going up right now. You know,
absolutely, the rent is going up.
Spike in rent because it's a demand, because they know that people are getting fearful of buying. So guess what landlords are doing? They're like, I got them back.
Hey, they're going up. The demand is definitely going higher. The only thing I foresee here in Central Florida, now if you're around that Davenport corridor, Four Corners or whatnot, like that area, I'm pretty sure is going to soften up over the next couple months. Just because all of the homes, all the vacation homes, the short-term rental market has been compromised, of course, with Disney being shut down and whatnot. So I'm already seeing some of those short-term rentals coming on the market as for sale. So that's an area I'm definitely keep my eyes on, because I think a lot of opportunity is going to come up there, where you have these the foreign investors who own a lot of short-term rentals over there. They either can't make it back into the country to check on their property or whatnot, and they just want to liquidate. they may need the funds wherever they are being quarantined. So
Absolutely.
they may want to liquidate to get the funds because they're not getting it from the Airbnb. All that stuff is shut down right now. And then some of them are turning into a regular rental, which now we have an influx of regular rentals over in that corridor. And so, you know, we just have to, I think that area is going to be a soft area, whether it's South Claremont, the Davenport area, that area close by, what is that over there? Haines City.
Yeah, Haines City, Davenport.
Yeah. Davenport, Poinciana.
You get great prices out there, Lake Wells. You know, you get brand new construction. They're going for $150,000 right now, brand new 3-bed, 2 baths. So you need to stay plugged in with the reliable source. The Combs Premier team, we do a great job just communicating. You know, we have a structure, man. You know, it's nonstop. Thank you for having me. But
absolutely, man.
Tramaine,
definitely.
And
yeah,
Leroy,
definitely appreciate you coming on board, man. Dropping some gems, giving your point of view on things. And you know, just looking at numbers, you know, nothing's changed. You're still killing it as usual. So keep up the great work, man, and keep helping these families. The impact continues, man. Thank you.
God first.
Absolutely. Keep God first. All right, boss. Let me see if I can get Tramayne on. Let me see. Trayway, where you at? Let me see. Here we go. There you go.
Yeah.
Boss man, how you doing?
Good. Got a crazy.
Man, you got that Rona over there, man, or what? Man, your eyes looking puffy, man. What's up?
No, Scott got the Rona because he had a mustache. And he never had a mustache before.
Oh man. Hey, so what's your take on the market right now? What are you seeing and what are you doing that you feel that's you know sort of keeping yourself safe, also keeping buyers and sellers safe, and helping you continue to push forward during this market?
Well, I would say the market, what I would say, it's a little tough out here just because, you know, everybody's scared or whatnot. As Scott said, people's going to buy, people going to sell at the end of the day. You just got to be real strategic and being creative nowadays and being mindful for your buyers or sellers so you can protect them at the end of the day. I know one thing that I preached on was I believe investors that have multiple properties will be willing to sell their homes that they have multiple of, because today I went out to show some homes, and guess what? 2 homes that I showed today were by the owner, by investors. So that tells me that he wants to have some money in his pocket in case, you know, we're in a long drought. So that lets me know that these investors probably are willing to sell their homes at a good price and probably negotiate so they can just get off their hands real quick. One thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm a creative person that people know me. I'm just going to continue to create content. At the end of the day, you have all this negativity, everything on social media. I'm just going to put out positive things, videos, stuff you guys can look forward to once all this crisis go. You can think about us at the end of the day because, you know, we weathered the storm, we continue to work, we continue to put out content, we continue to ask questions and answers, doing stuff like this and be in front of you guys' face to let you guys know that we're still here. We can still help you buy or sell and give you the right guidance to either put the right price point on, right price points to sell your home or negotiate on you guys' behalf to get a good price on a home that's on the market to let that seller know you're not going to get no better deal than this right now. And you got a buyer right now that's ready to buy so we can move forward and close this thing in 30 days and keep it moving. So my biggest take on everything is just staying positive, avoid all the stuff that's on social media. Social media is a lot of negativity on social media. Just keep on moving forward, continue to watch positive things. I'm going to continue to post positive things from Combs Premier, myself, and Central Keys. I'm continue to go around the neighborhoods, different new constructions if I'm able to. Have my gloves, sanitizer stuff.
So hold on, before you keep going, we have a question. It's asking, do we think that buyer's agents should get tested for coronavirus before continue to show homes?
Well, for one, I'm not in the NBA. And all the NBA players got all the tests. I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna get tested.
So this my take on that. My take on is that every real estate agent should act as if they have the coronavirus, meaning they should have a mask on, they should wear gloves, they should protect everyone from them just as well as them helping protect the client's houses, whether it's, you know, they're showing the house with the buyer or showing the seller's home or whatnot, listing. Like, as real estate agents, we need to act as if we are 100% affected with the coronavirus. Therefore, we take the proper precaution to keep other people from getting the virus, even though, you know, most of us, we know that we are not infected with the virus, but you know, you have to take the proper precaution because it's never too late. You know, let me see. Yeah, it's never too late. You know, it's never too late to get tested or take proper precautions. One thing I like that you're doing with the doing the walkthroughs of the homes and previews of the home, and I know you're going heavy on your YouTube channel, and that's exactly what we need, you know, as far as being able to show the visual walkthroughs, and so buyers can eliminate homes that may not fit their criteria based on looking at your walkthroughs and those visuals. So I think that's key in helping you stand out on the market, and then being able to do those visuals for your buyers. So therefore, you know, they don't have to go and look at homes that they know whether the neighborhood doesn't match their criteria or the home doesn't match their criteria. So then, therefore, as they eliminate these homes, you're keeping yourself from going out and being exposed to homes that the buyers know they don't like. And so you can go and see maybe 2 or 3 homes, and out of those 2 or 3 homes, if buyers are out in the market right now looking at homes, you have to know that they're serious about buying, for one. And then 2, you have to know that they're pre-approved. And, you know, especially if we're going to be taking buyers out, you know, we have, you know, procedures in place to keep buyers qualified, and also to limit our contact with buyers. You know, of course, we host the web consultations for buyers and sellers. So therefore, you know, we're really limiting our exposure with clients until they get to the point to where they want to look at homes. And by that time, we've eliminated so many of the other options from them. And then at the same time, as buyers are looking at these properties, they're seeing how many properties are going off the market fast. Like, I literally just had a property out in Tampa. We was held up in probate for a good little minute. I got a call from the attorney on Friday that the probate was finally clear. I called the 5 buyers that I had cash offers on that had sent offers like maybe a month and a half ago. And out of those 5 buyers, we got 2 full price cash offers out of those buyers on Friday, and is under contract within 3 hours of me receiving the call from the attorney. So, you know, like, if people think that this market is slowing down, the market may be affecting a lot of people, but there's so many people who need homes. There's so many people who are trying to control their destiny, make make a solid investment for the family. I talked to a lot of people about, you know, the investment side. A lot of them don't want to acknowledge it, that it's an investment. They look at it as if this is their home. So when people are looking at this purchase as it's their home, it's not an investment, they're anxious to find that home because they have different things that they need, or they're trying to meet for as obligations, meaning being conveniently located to their kids' school, being conveniently located to their job, or whatever it may be, or a loved one, a family member that they want to stay close to check on. Maybe it's an elderly parent. Whatever it is, we have a lot of highly motivated buyers who are not slowing down. You know, we're getting about 4 to 5 new buyers every single day that's registering, that needs help to find a home. And so, you know, it's almost as if there's nothing really going on. And I'm gonna talk to Leroy here in a second, because down in Miami now, Leroy is doing some phenomenal things working with majority buyers, but he's doing some phenomenal things down there. And so I'm gonna bring him on in a second to discuss that. But one thing that I want to touch on, all the walkthroughs and doing all the visuals for the new construction. I love it, and I think that, you know, that really is going to separate what you and the central fleet, the Central Keys team is going to separate you guys from a lot of people, because people don't have access to and the resources to go out and be able to show those visuals as consistently and give buyers options so where they don't have to expose themselves to actually view those options. So I know that there's a lot of buyers that appreciate that. Yeah, it's time to poke their emotions stronger.
Yeah, the Florida insurance guy, I'm looking at his message here. He is correct. Technology is key. Technology is key, and a lot of even churches that I'm seeing right now in ministries doing a lot of live streaming, doing Zoom to do buyers consultations and stuff like that. People got to start utilizing the technologies nowadays to further their enhancements in their whatever industry that they're in, I believe. And also another thing too is being really strategic. The hard part about dealing with buyers now is it's not finding them home. It's basically kind of seeing what kind of job they have, because a lot of industries are laying off people, so it's uncertainty in them, even though they're ready to buy. I think as a real estate agent, you have to be creative, like I mentioned earlier, and be strategic. And what I mean by that is think of industries or individuals that the income is never going to run out, as in retired military, people that retire from their jobs, stuff like that. They're gonna have endless of money always coming in, and they can move anytime they want to, because they don't have to deal with getting laid off or whatnot. So just being creative and really sit back and thinking what kind of buyers that I can probably really help out in this time and need, that they don't have to worry about getting laid off on their job or their salary getting cut, which will kind of affect us as in putting an offer in, that all of a sudden they get a decrease in their pay. And out of, we like 20 days in, and all of a sudden they got 33% decrease or 50% decrease in their pay that affect us on closing on the house. So just being really strategic and doing a buyer consultation now is key. Is asking all these detailed information about their job. What about their job? What kind of job is it? Because a lot of jobs you can know offhand. If it's a local business, 9 times out of 10, if we're going through this 4 or 5 months, them staying at that local job is going to be really tough. So realistically, got to be realistic.
But and that's one thing too that I think that it should be a sense of urgency with the layoffs, because for one, if you get laid off, right, and you lose your job, let's say 9 times out of 10, you should be able to find something. I know Publix, they're doing a lot of hiring right now. They're hiring like thousands of people. There are jobs that are hiring during these times. Like, I think people have to look at what industries are excelling right now. There's a lot of cleaning company industry that's excelling right now, distribution. There's a lot of companies that are excelling right now. The online companies, any job that allow you to work remote, those things are excelling right now. So during this time, you just have to be creative about how you go about doing your job. And I always say, and I always talk about this, being able to own your yard, being able to control your future, control how you eat. And like this is the time where being an entrepreneur is like, it allows you to flourish, because you're not in a box. You know what I mean? You're not in a box where you can't go out and create another source of income over here. You can't create. If you are an entrepreneur, you're a real estate agent, you should have already been doing trying to create passive income. And I talked about this in some videos before about, people not having a goal, real estate agents, for one, not having a goal of just trying to sell 50 homes, 60 homes, 70 homes, but having a realistic goal of creating a certain amount of passive income. So if your goal for, instead of trying to sell 50 or 60 homes, okay, set a goal to create $1,000 of passive income. Because now is the time where that passive income will come in handy, where you won't be in such a crunch where, you have to go out and make and work for every single dollar that you earn. So it's very important, that we have the proper goals in place that helps us as real estate agents build that foundation to where we don't have to work for every dollar. That's one thing I know that I have in place that, that I've been consistently building and working on, the passive income part, because that's key. And then also creating other type of income outside of that. Therefore, that, no matter what, you can still survive in this type of market. A lot of the things that we do now, all the technology that we've incorporated over the last maybe 6 to 8 months, everything pretty much virtual. We can do pretty much everything virtual. You don't have to be in front of a client to write up a contract. You don't have to, everything. You don't have to touch anything basically to this point. And even doing the buyers consultations, all of that, everything we've been incorporating is virtual. So I
even tap into this. Last year I sold a new construction home. She never seen the place before, ever. Not physically, till 2 months after. I went there, recorded the whole house on my phone, and sent her all the clips. and I wrote up an offer on the house, went on the contract, and I recorded the whole process. When I met with the general contractor that do a walkthrough, I recorded the whole process. I sent it to her. She told me what she wanted to get fixed. I communicated with that, and we moved forward. So technology is key. I was able to sell a house without me even being there, without her being there. She came 2 months later. So I would just say, man, if you have a video, if you got a camera, a cell phone would be just as good. Record the home very thoroughly, so you can look out for your buyers, so they can look at it and make sure it got all the key points that they want in the house, and record all them things and see if they like it, and they want to put an offering on it. Because at the end of the day, because they're trusting you, which is us, to see if that house is really good for them. So that's all I have to say.
And also, somebody mentioned on here, I'm trying to get Leroy to send his request. He don't know how to do it. Rookies.
He called me. Yeah, he called me the other day talking about how you send photos to your computer.
Leroy, please call Scott and get instructions. Man, these rookies. Hey,
well, man, it took me a while too, because I couldn't find it either. I had to scroll up to find send Emmett to get on live.
Okay. One thing I want to add, somebody mentioned that they brought back stated income, and they're absolutely right. They did bring back stated income. Right now there's so many ways for you can get in the home right now, and you have to take advantage of these opportunities, right? So you have
this one dude. Yes, you can, as a buyer, you can close without being present. A notary person can come to you.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do a notary. Right. Okay. So one of the things that we're doing, we had one client who was doing what do you call it? An asset mortgage. It's called a reverse amortization asset loan. So basically, we take the assets and we amortize it, and so therefore we have it set up to where over the length of that mortgage, your assets will pay you the income, and then so therefore if your income is short, they use your assets and amortize it. So therefore it helps you, helps your buying capacity. So like there's so many creative mortgages out here that will help you guys get into a loan. And you have to take advantage of this, being that the interest rates are low right now, and you have these different options. Like you have to look at that. You have the stated income, you have the bank statement only, without filing your taxes. Like there's so many different creative ways for you guys to get in the home. You have to own your yard. Let's say, for instance, now we talked about, the people getting laid off. So let's say, you get in your home right now. That should give you a sense of urgency to get in your home, because the government is putting things in place to help people so they don't lose their home during this time, just in case they get laid off. I would want to be on the part where if I get laid off, at least I can rent this house out, or I can use it as an investment, or whatever I may have to do if I get laid off. But at least I have my yard, and when I get things back, right, or I can rent out rooms, whatever I need to do to keep my house. And then also the government have things in place, so therefore we can, that whether we not paying our mortgage during this time or whatever it may be, there's things in place to protect homeowners, because the government and the banks don't want the houses back. They want us to keep our home. They want us to keep our homes. But if you're renting, nobody's going to forgive you on the rent. I'm sorry, but if you're one of my tenants and you miss a couple of rents, I may let you get by 1 month, but you have to know all the legal procedures are going into place on month 2. So regardless if you have a home, if you have a job or not, you have to pay to live somewhere. And so it's best to own your yard, so therefore you can benefit from the things that are being put in place to help homeowners. And then also, if you get laid off, let's say you get laid off and you're out of work for 3 to 4 or 5 months. Well, now your income is inconsistent. It may be a while before you can buy again. So if you can get approved now, it's better to get in your home now, because you don't want your credit to take a tank. And now you can't get approved to buy a home. And by the time you do get approved, interest rates skyrocket. The home prices have increased significantly, and your rental has been going up. And now, you fall into the statistics where over 70% of your household income is going toward rental payments. So you just, during this time, it's like the perfect season, and then also it's the perfect storm. But you gotta drown the noise. That's why I keep telling people to turn off the TV and focus on your goals. You know, don't let things distract you from what you're trying to accomplish. Like for me, you know, I never let anything distract me, because I started my journey, you know, I'm not even gonna get too far into that, but I started my journey from pretty much nothing. You know what I mean? From nothing. I opened a business from the swamps of an oil field. So I know anything is possible, but you got to put your mind to it. You got to stay focused. You got to continue to educate yourself on how to navigate the waters when you get there. You may not be there yet, but continue to educate yourself so you can navigate the waters when the storm comes. You know, so a lot of people wait, you know, they're not preparing, you know, and they're just waiting, thinking things are going to be just a cakewalk all the way through. But honestly, for me, even where I'm at in my life right now, even where I'm at financially, nothing has been a cakewalk ever. It's never been a cakewalk. From day to day, it's always different challenges. And so, you know, if you're not prepared for those challenges, it'll take you down. It don't have to be a good market to be taken under. So you just continue to prepare. You have some people out here who, you know, who look at the market and they look at everything as a reason not to get into the market. But again, if you're renting, and if, you know, you have to look at the money that's going out on the monthly. You know, if you're putting out money, if you're putting out $75,000 or what is $25,000 a year on rent, you know, in 3 years, that's $75,000. That's money you're not going to get back, you know. And I have a 6-year, 6-figure whole investment plan that I can show you that you literally, in 6 years of renting, you're throwing away 6 figures. So regardless of what the market looks like, you know, you put your goals in front of you. I see Trap said he got a corona test coming out in a couple of days, a 45-minute corona test. So,
you know, Leroy sent you the thing.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't see it. Boss man.
I need a new phone.
Hey man, you paid all that money for that phone. Look, they say Leroy got an Android. That's why his phone not working.
Yeah, I might do.
Hey man, what's up? What's up?
What we talking about? What we talking about?
Look, I want to talk about how you killing it down there in Miami in the middle of the coronavirus. Like everybody having a pandemic, and you over here. It's March, man. You almost at 6 figures already, man. Come on, talk to me, dog.
Oh no.
Talk to me.
Man, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a ghost town, but hey, it's still rolling, man. People still buying, people still selling. So, I mean, you just got to connect with the right people who ain't scared. A lot of people don't see that it is still a good time to buy, especially the people who've been out there looking like that. You know, if you down here in Miami, you know houses is flying off the market like that. So, if you still see a house after 10 days on the market, man, you know something wrong. Go ahead and get it. Right now, it's a buyer's market in my eyes, man. It's negotiating time. Ain't nothing for a price no more.
Absolutely. So one key thing about South Florida that a lot of people may not realize is that prior to this whole coronavirus pandemic, that South Florida, it's been tough. It's been tough to find houses. Like we've had buyers pre-approved for months, and it's been hard to find them anything, right? And outside of new construction. So the dilemma is down in South Florida, you either have new construction, only thing that's affordable with new construction are the townhomes. And then after the townhome, the prices jump to where, you know, they're in the fives, like, you know, it just gets very expensive. Then everything in between is either old and a lot of the sellers want more than what the properties are worth. And buyers are paying that. Buyers are paying money on top of the appraised value. So it makes it.
A lot of agents, man, you know what you do, a lot of agents let their buyers get impatient. So if we going out there, man, and you see 10 houses that just wasn't what you set out to go get, but you just tired of looking, you just ready to put offers on anything. And that's how these investors are still getting over. What I've been having luck with, man, I hooked up with a great investor down here with the resale that's doing very good with his flips. And he's giving me like a list of his properties as he's building them, man. He calling me first, hey, go check out this property, man. So if I have buyers in all different price ranges, I can help him out. And on the flip side, he can help me out. Of course, a lot of his properties may have issues out there inspection, but he's one of the good ones that'll fix everything that come up on inspection. So that's kind of like how I've been getting by, man. It was like basically hooking up with those people and keeping it going. So my buyers are comfortable when they go in and they see a house fully renovated. No, it's not brand new, but if they have impact windows and everything, man, hey, you can't beat it. I
So,
think we seen a house, one of my new constructions, a toilet or something ran over. No, it was
oh
a
yeah,
sink.
brand new construction. Yeah.
Yeah, a sink went flooded, man, after like a week of owning a brand new house. So that was like it kind of backs my argument with my buyers when they say they want a brand new house. Hey, you might get a brand new house that may have problems also. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. I know in my neighborhood, which is a new construction neighborhood, a lot of my neighbors, they had issues. Same thing, house flooded out. One of the pipes burst, wasn't connected properly. You know, and you go through the same thing. You know, they got to gut the house, they got to gut the floors, take out the kitchen. You know, put the floors down. And so, in my case, you know, once you do that, it's not a new house anymore. So, regardless of
yeah,
what, you know, whether it's new or old, the best thing to do is find a home that you're happy with. You know, don't be so sold on just wanting to buy brand new, because, you know, the most disappointing thing about buying a brand new house is once something goes bad on that home, you know, it's sort of like it lets you down, you
yeah,
know, and then when you buy a resale home, you're not really disappointed if something happens, because you know it's an older home, so you know
yeah.
you expect certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of that, do you think during this time right now, do you think it's better to be working with buyers or sellers? What is your take?
Right now, I think it's best to work with buyers right now because the inventory that's been on the market is still on the market. So you're able to satisfy your clients even better now, man. Like I said, if a house been on the market right now for over 10 days in Miami, that's grounds of no full price now. But if a seller just, you know, they stubborn on their price, man, they'll keep it. You know, because the way houses fly off the market down here now with this thing that's going on, we have buyers that's pre-approved. They just waiting to find that one property. It makes it a little harder on us as agents, man, because there's so much that's still available. But it's still, once we find that right property, you can't get full price, Mr. Seller. You know, but I will say, once everything is over with and kind of wound down, it's gonna be a rat race again out here. So. Yeah. So if
So,
you pre-approved,
for the buyer who think that the interest rate is going to continue to drop, and the things that the prices are going to continue to drop, what would you tell them?
you know, I can't say much about the prices, but interest rates, you can't play with them right now because people think they're low and they're really ain't. I have 2 buyers right now that's waiting to lock their rate because this week alone, man, the interest rate's just been so up and down. I have 1 buyer, man, that was given a 3.3, and she called me. She said, "Hey, this was the day after that 0% thing hit the airways like that," and she said, "Hey, she said I could get a 3.37 right now. What do you think about that? Where's your interest rate?" I said, "Well, I bought maybe 5-6 years ago, and I'm at a 4.6. I never seen a 3.3, not in resale. I seen it in you know, new construction when the developers, man, was buying your rate down and you didn't know it. But no, I haven't seen the 3.3. I believe that's a good rate. Now, will it go up or down? I can't tell you. You know, that's her own judgment. 2 hours later, she couldn't get that 3.3 no more. And to get that 3.3, she had to pay for it. So
Okay.
she locked her rate at a 3.5, man, and moved forward. And that was
And
still
move
good.
forward.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and that's why I try to tell people to just turn the TV off, man, because like you hear all this misleading news, and I feel that every news releasing, anytime they releasing something that comes to real estate on the impact of consumers, I feel like there should be a disclosure, because it's like you're dropping things, you're dropping knowledge out there, or something of information, but you're not giving the full details behind it. So you have people just taking that little bit of information and moving forward with that, thinking that's it, you know, thinking that, you know, this is the golden key now. You know, I know this is the time to go and buy the interest rates at a 0%. Now, like I always try to tell people, man, there's nothing that's ever going to be free. You know, especially when it comes to housing. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Nobody's going to give away anything for free. It's always a catch-22 to it. So even with that, you know, like I always tell people, when you're talking about your mortgage and your interest rates and so forth, like don't try to play and time the market and so forth. Just find a nice interest rate, something that you're happy and comfortable with, because there's so many disclosures that goes with that, like your credit score, you know, what type of loan you're getting, if it's your primary residence, if it's an investment property. All of those factors play a key role in what type of interest rate you're going to get, you know, and then at the same time, depending on what's your purchase price, you know, the purchasing price you're at far as how much it plays a big role. It's just everything. There's so many more factors that play into what type of interest rate you're going to get on a particular home, even when it comes to condos, single family homes. Everything has something that plays a part in it, and it's a lot more than just interest rates drop. You know, it's a lot more than that. So a lot of times interest rates may drop, but it doesn't pertain to maybe 70 to 80% of the consumers out there. It doesn't apply to them. So I always tell people, just set your goals up based on your budget. Once you get in your home, now keep your ears pierced, because when news come out about interest rates dropping and so forth, you know, like right now, as interest rates, you know, did take a drop last week. If you as a homeowner, you can reach out to your lender, and I spoke about this. You can reach out to your lender, refinance your home, and get a lower interest rate that's available on the market right now that would essentially reduce your mortgage payments. So the whole key to that is being in your home so you can take advantage of something when it comes your way. Now, if you're renting and you hear about that, there's nothing you can really do. You know, there's nothing you can really do to take advantage of that except for just pay your rent and make sure you don't get, evicted, and now you don't get approved for a mortgage. So I think that the most important thing for people to do right now during this time is don't speculate that that the housing market is going to crash, because you're going to get left outside. You're going to get left outside, looking in and being impacted by the increased rent, because rents are going to go up now. I can say this, and I know people have been waiting to see what the foreclosure is going to be.
What you think? I mean, being that they putting things in place, man, where people can't, go into foreclosure, or with the whole eviction thing and all that.
Man, listen, if regardless of what, pay your mortgage, man.
No. Yeah, I understand that, but if they putting things in place where to help the consumers out, man, where they don't go into foreclosure, are they really trying to save the market at that point, or are they just trying to?
Yes, I mean they are trying to save the market, but me, I track a lot of stuff. So if the market, regardless of what, institutional buyers are still here. Mm-hmm. So people have to realize that as the market softens and foreclosure come into play, like, man, I outside the institutional buyers, I have a whole list. Maybe it's about 30 something, maybe close to 40 something investors right now who are constantly texting. Anything come on the market as a short sale or a foreclosure, they want it. No ifs, ands, buts, sight unseen, right at the contract.
Cash.
Cash.
That's another thing. So, as far as agent, I mean, you as our broker, I mean, I could stand a little more education on short sales and foreclosures, man, because you did start in that era. I haven't, but because I kind of feel like it may go that way. Yeah, I would, love a lot of more education on that short sale and foreclosure stuff. Cause you gotta be on top of it. Yeah, you gotta stay on top of it.
We're gonna be talking about the plays I'm working on right now. But for instance, you have some people out there right now who've already stopped paying their mortgage, right? And so they're thinking they're going to be saved by this, but honestly, like what I explained to them, now they're going to wait and see what happens. But like I explained to them, like they're currently, I think there are 72 pre-foreclosures in the area where our office is. And so what I explained to one young lady was that there's an attorney assigned to your case now. So that file is accruing expenses every single day, regardless of what happened. The amount you owe on their mortgage is going up every single month. So like some people that they're thinking they're going to get saved by it, but I think a lot of people are going to be surprised, that it's not going to work out in their favor the way they see it. So I do think there's going to be some softening in the market, but I don't necessarily know how much and how it will impact, because these institutional and these big iBuyers and institutional buyers that are buying up everything regardless of what, as of even just this past week, had institutional buyers still buying, putting in full cash offers. Had a buddy of mine got an institutional buyer because they already have the tenants. Now, I think what people need to realize about these institutional buyers, you have some these buyers who already have tenants in place, and the tenants are already put down a down payment, so they're still coming in buying cash because they're buying these homes, putting them into their portfolios. So a lot of people never really got back into the stock market like after 2008, and they stayed in the real estate market. So they're all about generating, they're all about generating more cash flow within their portfolio. So a lot of buyers in general just have to understand that, you know, these times today is not like how it was back in 2008. So, you know, it's not like, you know, they're building homes left and right, and, you know, they don't have procedures in place to protect people's equity and value. There's a lot of things in place. Some mortgages did come back, right? So you do have state income came back. You have the interest-only loans that came back, but they are requiring people to put down 30%. Rates have actually increased. Yeah, our buddy, our mortgage lender, he was talking about rates have actually increased, and he's absolutely right. Rates have increased, and you know, it just, unfortunately, you know, you can only guide people so far, and then, you know, they have to make the decision after you present them the water. They have to make a decision whether they're going to drink it or not. But what would you say, Leroy, to the buyer who's on the fence right now, thinking that they're going to wait until see to after this shutdown and see what's going to happen?
If they approved already, this ain't the time to wait. This ain't the time to wait. If they looking to purchase, or they looking to get out of their lease because their lease about to come up in a few, it may be you know, I say personally I'll be a little iffy about trying to get approved right now because of the way the interest rates have been playing. So if you know, if my lender that you know can advise me to lock my rate or rates are best right now, go ahead, because if you could get a good rate, I think it's a good time to go attack the market down here in Miami, because houses just sitting. As you go outside, man, nobody's out there. People begging you to come see your property. So I mean, it's kind of like a semi-buyer's market right now. But at the same time, you have to catch the interest rate when it's at its lowest. And right now they're up and down.
Fred, he was saying back in 2008 he did a forbearance, and it messed his credit up. And so that's another thing about, you know, paying your bills. You know, I think during this time right now, I think everybody really needs to just like minimize any unnecessary spending, but make sure you lock in what's necessary, like your home. Lock in that. Make sure you pay your mortgage. Right now, one thing I wouldn't be doing right now, I would not be buying any vehicles. I won't buy any car. You know, like, you don't want to be adding on any unnecessary expenses right now. Definitely until after this thing is over with. But, you know, you want to secure your home, because no matter what, you have to live in your home. But you don't want to rely on the government either to save you. So don't stop paying your mortgage for nothing in this world. I would never recommend anybody ever stop paying the mortgage. You don't want to be, you know, leave that in the government's hands as far as
I heard someone say they're gonna start just using their credit cards and save all their cash. I don't agree with, like, right now I don't think it's the time to start thinking like that. I mean, this is something I haven't seen in my lifetime, but I don't think nobody really knows what's going to happen. So I mean, to start panicking is, I believe, is playing into the wrong person's hands when you do that type of stuff. So
absolutely. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of people who's on the sideline right now waiting to take advantage of anybody who feel like, you know, they're gonna let something go or anything of that nature. Like, it's people ready, you know, and I myself, I'm ready. But I'm not you know, trying to get anybody to lose their home or any of that. I'm you know, continue to recommend that people pay all their bills. And, you know, find you another source of income. I know somebody got on my case, wanted to talk about I need to be quarantined. But at the end of the day, like, we're not waiting on government stimulus. You know, like, we are here, we provide, and we're opening up doors for people, and we're helping people get into the homes. You know, lock in goals that they've had. You know, for instance, you just closed with a buyer Friday, and like, you know, it doesn't matter what's going on. Like, people are accomplishing like life goals when they buy a home. So like, you have to know how serious it is for buyers right now to be able to accomplish that goal. And,
that's why I'm stressing to my buyers that are approved right now, man. Let's get out there. Let's find something. I personally would rather be in my own home, my personal home, instead of being into a rental property, man. Because if, let's just say, something did happen where you know, investors, everybody just start losing money or whatever, if this is somebody else's home, they might try to get their family member in that house to get you out of there. They might need to move back into their investment property or whatever. But and then, you know,
Yes.
so it's like, man, if you got a pre-approval right now, it's time to get out there, man. While people still selling, grab something, man, and we're gonna negotiate it to to the very end.
Absolutely. So I want to wrap it up because I know we've been on it for about an hour now. But I want to come back. I want to come back and I want to talk about shadow inventory, because I think shadow inventory is going to be something big. Like when I got into real estate, when the market was bad right after 2005. So when it comes to the foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, short sales, all that stuff, like that's how I made my living when I first got into real estate. So I know that stuff like the back of my hand, and I can tell you, like, you guys want to tune in when we come back. And we may come back tomorrow, or maybe Wednesday or somewhat. But I want to talk about shadow inventory, and I'm gonna give you guys the bird's eye view of what shadow inventory is and what the banks do in that particular situation when we have an influx. So I'm not even gonna give you guys any more of that. But
All right.
when we come back live, y'all tune in, man. But we're gonna be talking about shadow inventory. Hey, Leroy, I appreciate you, man. Look, keep killing it. I know a lot of people, you know, they sort of stagnant right now, sitting back, but you know, I know we have a very aggressive team and everybody's still killing it, man. Like, we still finding out ways to move around, but you know, be safe out there, man. Make sure you protecting your clients, protecting you and your family as well. But thank you for dropping the gems from your perspective on the South Florida market, man. Thank you, man.
All right, bro. Gotcha.
All right. God bless. Thank you guys for tuning in. Look, we'll be coming back live maybe on Wednesday, but I'm gonna talk about shadow inventory. I want to talk about pre-foreclosures, distressed properties, and what you guys should be looking out for, especially if you're a seller or if you are a buyer, and what to expect in those cases as well. Because I know some people have a misunderstanding of what a short sale is, and a lot of sellers and homeowners don't understand what shadow inventory is either. So we'll be discussing that. But yo guys, be blessed. Thank you for tuning in, and y'all stay safe.